Okay. So recording is started, team. Good morning, team. In this BA Master program, in today's session, we'll talk about copy multiple files from blob to blob storage using the Azure Synapse. Okay. So let's try to see today using Azure Synapse how we can able to do whatever we have done yesterday. Along with that, we will see how we can able to copy multiple files from blob to blob. Okay. So what we are going to discuss is there are two things that we are planning to discuss. One is okay, how to copy one file from okay one file from so how to copy one file from blob input folder to blob one, okay, blob one input folder to blob 2 output folder using Synapse. So yesterday we have seen with the ADF. Today we will see this with the Synapse. Similarly, today another lab that we are going to do is very simple. So how to copy multiple files from blob 1 input folder to blob 2 output folder using Synapse. So third lab is we will see today. You can say instead of lab, you can say these are different scenarios. Okay, maybe how to copy only CSV files from, maybe you have Parquet file, Avro files, JSON files, many other type of files also in the blob1 input folder. But I want to copy, okay, I want to copy only, okay, only CSV file, copy only CSV files from blob1 input folder to blob2 output folder using the Synapse. Okay, so fourth scenario is we will see how to copy only files which are which only files which uh, which has name starting with, maybe you can say cust, okay, from blob1 input folder to blob2 output using. So these four scenarios we are going to cover. So now my question to all of you is, everybody understood the scenarios? If anybody did not understand any of this scenario, please let me know. That is one thing. Second thing is, whoever did not attend yesterday's session, for them it will be little bit difficult to understand these things. It will be little bit difficult to understand these things. Tell me, everybody understood the scenarios? Everybody understood or not? Whoever understood, say yes or no.
Yeah, we understand.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let me move on to the portal dot. So how you will access Azure services? Okay, Apswami, can you tell me how we will access the Azure services?
Portal.azure.com.
Portal.azure.com. Okay. Narayana, can you guide me how to create a blob storage?
So we need to search for the storage account, and then we have to give the subscription.
So good. One
storage account.
Storage
yeah, sorry.
Just guide me step by step. Okay, should not be disturbed because audio and video should be very clear also in the recording. Okay, so storage account I came. So what I need to do next?
We have to create. Click on the create.
Click on create. Next.
And we have to give the subscription and resource group name.
Okay, so subscription is we have only one subscription, that is
already. Yes.
Resource group is I want to create my own resource group for today lab Cloud Pandit-RG. Okay, next this is a source blob storage. So I'll say Cloud Pandit source blob from 0806. 08 is the date, 06 is the month. Then click review. So in which region I am taking, in which location I am storing my data, in east west. Click review. Click create. Okay, Next, come to the second tab. Again, I'm moving on to the portal.azure.com. Deepthi Reddy, can you guide me how to create one more storage accounts? I want to create one more storage account. What we need to do if we want one more storage account?
Go to storage account,
Okay.
create,
Okay.
select subscription,
Okay.
select resource group,
Which one?
resource group,
Which resource group?
Cloud Pandit Raj.
Okay, because we created this, we are trying to put all the things in the same group. So I'm just creating this. Next, storage account name is Cloud Pandit sync blob. Okay, Cloud Pandit sync blob. Okay, and 0806. Region is east to west. So storage account is this, region is east to west. Okay, so maybe I'm taking the sync also in the same region, but as I mentioned, if you want to take it in somewhere else, okay, maybe you want to move data into the Canada east, that is also possible. Whatever you want, you can able to choose. Okay, so whatever you want, you can just jump on west. So whatever you want, you can just choose, click review, then create. Okay, next. Banu, can you guide me how to create a synapse analytics? We have not discussed, but you are there in the Databricks session also. I have told something. It's common steps that you need to follow. Guide me, Banu.
Analytics, we created Azure Databricks, right? And we created clusters in that.
You remember I have given some common steps, resource group, subscription, name of the synapse, and region. Remember? Okay,
Sorry, Malay, I don't.
fine.
I have to create a synapse and again.
Correct. So whenever you want to create any service in Azure, I have given some common points. See, for example, when we are creating a blob storage, just now we have seen one thing. What we have seen when we are creating the blob storage, what we have done, searched the searched as a storage account. Okay, and created the storage account by passing what all things, subscription. Okay, next thing is resource group name. Third thing is storage account name, storage name. So fourth one is region. So these four only important. Now you want to create one more resource group, one more storage account, you just follow same step. You want to create a Azure data factory, you just say that searched with the data factory. Okay, click create and provide subscription name, resource group name, okay, ADF name and region. Suppose you want to create tomorrow Databricks, so search, say Databricks. Okay, click on create subscription, resource group name, Databricks name you provide and select the region. Similarly, you want to create a synapse. Let's say you want to create a synapse. So if you searched as a synapse, clicked on create subscription, resource group name, and you need to create the synapse name and region. These four are mandatory. Along with that, maybe for some services you need to do extra steps. So anybody heard about what is synapse? Synapse is a combination of Databricks, data factory, everything. So there are some dependency with the synapse. Whenever you are creating a synapse, along with these mandatory 4 steps, so there is a one more step that you need to do is storage account you need to create. That is called a data lake storage gen 2. So this we need to create. What happens is synapse need some default storage where it can able to access the data directly. So that's why one dependency is you need to attach one of the storage account. Maybe whether you are keeping data in the same storage, you are keeping your data in some other storage, doesn't matter. But one restriction is mandatorily you need to attach one of the storage account with the synapse. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. These are the 4 things are common for whatever service that you want to create in Azure. Now I came here, I searched with the Synapse, clicked on the Synapse Analytics. I came here, clicked on create. So 4 things that are mandatory, as you already know. Subscription is this, resource group name is Cloud Pandit -RG, workspace name. So workspace name I'll say Cloud Pandit Synapse workspace 0806. Okay, and then so region is, so whatever you want, again you can take whatever you want, but I'm going with the east-west. So these are the 4 mandatory things. As I mentioned, for some of the services there may be some extra steps. So for example, if you see here, it is asking me to create a one storage account. So storage account is it's a mandatory to attach one of the storage account. Cloud Pandit ADLS 0806. So how I will know it's a ADLS? One second. How you will know it's a data lake storage? You can see select a data lake storage only. It is saying, meaning when you give the name, automatically it will create a data lake storage name. Okay, remember 0 Cloud Pandit ADLS 0806. Create. So within the storage, you need to create one of the folder. The folder name I'm creating is called a global. You can give anything. Maybe you can say again, Cloud Pandit is the folder name, or input is a container name, root container, root folder, main folder, you can say. Okay. With these things, you can just click review plus create. Whether you are using ADF or Synapse doesn't matter. Same options, only navigations will change. But same steps, same things we have to do. So Synapse takes around 3-4 minutes to create. Okay, let them be. So meanwhile, we will keep our source and sync ready. So source storage, this is my source storage as per the scenario number 1. Okay, copy one file from blob1 input folder to blob2 output folder, meaning in the source blob I need to create input folder, in the sync blob I need to create output folder, in the source blob side one file I need to keep for the scenario. Okay, source blob, I'm going to the container. Okay, inside container I'm going to give the input container. Okay, input container I'm giving inside the source blob storage. Okay, go inside input container, let's upload a one of the file. Okay, upload, browse for files, and the file I'm going to give it as something like credit1.cs. Okay, upload. Okay, go back, oh sorry, go to resource, go to containers. This is the input. Inside input, you are seeing credit1.csv file. Okay. Now go to the sync blob storage. Go to resource. In the sync blob, where I need to go? Containers. Go to containers. Click on container. You need to create an output container and create it. So now let me open the paint here.
Malay, this is a blob storage, right? What are you created?
Yes, blob.
But you said Synapse will access only data lake storage, is it?
No. That is mandatorily to attach one of the data lake storage.
Okay.
It is mandatory to attach a storage account, data lake storage account to the Synapse, but it doesn't mean that you need to store data in the data lake and you need to access the data only from the data lake into the Synapse. No, it's not mandatory, but there is a default storage you need to attach. Recommended to maintain your data, all your ETL central repository, right? All your ETL data you can maintain in that data lake storage. That is recommended to do, but we will see when to go for that data lake also. I'll explain. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? Now inside this, if you
one
see,
question. One question.
okay.
So whenever we created the storage accounts, like one is for the input, one is for the output, right? Sync blob and. So why we are opening in three different sites, like three separate windows? Can't we do in one window, creating and using that?
First thing, hold on. I am doing everything in the one window only in the different tabs. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Why I am doing in these tabs? That is no restriction. If you see, for example, when I am giving training, okay, when I need a source blob, okay, click on the source blob here, search for source blob. Okay, again, when I need a synapse, okay, let me go to the synapse. If I move on here and there, how it will be? It is very difficult. You also will get confused. That's why I'm just maintaining the things to make very easily understandable, to make you very easy understanding. What I'm doing is I'm maintaining the source blob here in the first tab. Okay, so that let's say when I'm showing, hey, I just created my input folder in the source blob storage, I can quickly move on to this tab. I can click on container and I can show you. When I need sync, I can click on this and I can show you. When I want synapse, I can come and I can show you. But if I am putting everything I'm showing within the same window, what happens? I need to keep on moving here and there. It takes a lot of time and you also will get confused. What is opening? Why is opening this? Why again is going there? So that is some confusion. That's why just to make you understand better, I'm trying to do this way. This is not how I'm doing is not at all make any difference. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Now you come here. So this is a blob storage. Okay, source blob storage. This is what? This is a sync blob storage. Within the source blob storage, we created one of the container called what? What is that? One of the
Input.
Okay, we created a something called input. So now let's say this is one of the file. So this is one of the file. Now if you say this is a source block, the sync block we created. Okay, we created an input container, we created the output container. Okay, now we are just putting credit one.csv. Okay, now this file we are trying to copy into the output using what? Using the synapse. Using the synapse. This is the synapse symbol. Okay. Now from the synapse, what all things we need to do? You know already whatever we have done yesterday, same things. So tell me what all things we need to do. First thing, what is the first thing? So linked service. How many linked services we need? Two. One is for source, one is for target. Sync. How many data sets we need?
Two.
Okay, one is for the source, one is for the sync. Okay. Now you will create a pipeline. You will create one of the pipeline like this. Okay, using this data, right? You will use one of the pipeline like this. Please be in mute if you think there is a noise. Narayana, go mute everybody until unless you have a question.
I'm on mute only, Mulay.
Please be in mute. I'm just telling. See, this is a pipeline I'm creating. This is a pipeline. Within the synapse, I created a pipeline. So this pipeline, within this pipeline, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of the activity. Okay, so that may be just to copy the data I need. So that's why I'll use the copy activity. What this copy activity does? Tell me. What this copy activity does? This copy
the content from input.
So reads the data from the source data set and it copies the data into the sync data set location. So I'm giving you 1 minute time. Please look into this and try to understand and tell me. Everybody put it in the chat window. How many linked services I need? How many data sets I need? How many pipelines we need? How many activities we need? What is that activity we need? Everybody put it in chat window. Very good. So most of you answered correctly. Okay. So 2 linked services, 2 data sets, 1 pipeline, 1 copy. Actually, let's see how we can able to create within the Synapse. Okay. So this is the Synapse what we have available. Go to resource group. Click on the Synapse. Okay. Come down. Come down. See, you see Open Synapse Studio will come. Just click on Open. Okay. Now, first thing is, you remember yesterday also we have a manage tab. What is the use of manage tab? What is the use of manage tab, team?
We can create linked
Creating linked services. Okay? For creating linked services. Okay, good. Now, how it is looks like for you? How it looks like for you? Pipeline, right? Pipeline. So you can create pipelines from here. So this is how it looks like for you. Data, right? Data means it looks like a database. Okay. So if you want to create any data set, you need to go here. If you want to create a pipeline, you can say pipeline symbol. If you want to create any linked service, you need to go to manage tab. So remaining things we can say this is for monitoring the jobs. Nothing you are going to do. You just watching the jobs how it is running. This is for the other transformations like all the Databricks things transformation we do in the develop. Okay, we talk about those things later, but we need to go to manage for creating linked service, data for creating data sets, integrate for creating the pipeline. Let's go and create a linked service. Go to manage. Where you are seeing linked services? Here. Okay, click on this linked service. Okay, so in this linked service, do you see plus new option? Yes, click on plus new option. So to what storage account we need to connect? What type of storage it is?
Blob storage.
Okay. So it's a blob storage. So how I can able to create? Just search blob, select blob. You can say ls underscore blob. So I'll explain more on the part of. I'll explain more on this part. Don't worry at this moment. Just to select subscription is this. So storage account is which is the storage which we need to connect? Source blob. Okay, this is a source blob. Test connection. Okay. Yes. Okay. So it is done, right? So you created a one linked service for blob, but you need to clearly call out. I'm not able to call this as a source. 1 second, let me delete this again. Click delete. Okay. Clear. Click on new. Click on blob. Select Azure blob. ls underscore blob, and you can say source. Okay, it is a source. Subscription is this. Select the source blob. Test connection. Click create. Okay. Okay, click new. Again blob. Select Azure blob. ls underscore blob underscore sync. Okay, come down. Select subscription. Storage account name is sync blob. Okay, 0806. Test connection. Click create. Are we good till here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now go to data for creating the data sets. Click on plus. See integration data sets. Click on integration data sets. So for which storage? Blob again. Select
Storage.
CSV. You can say DS for blob. It's a source. Linked services source. First is header because I have headers in the data. Select input credit one.csv. Okay, click OK. So have you seen credit one.csv file data? Now go here, go inside input container, click on credit one.csv, click edit. So you can see this is the columns. Okay, this is the data. Now we created a one data set, right? ls underscore blob underscore source. Okay, so input and credit one.csv, you just have seen it has the headers. Credit one.csv is having headers or not? You can see there is header. Clear? Now I also need to create what? One more data set. Click on this, click on integration data set, blob, Azure blob storage as a CSV again. So DS for blob and it is a sync. This is a linked service. For the sync you need to select first as header. See, when you choose first as header, then only the columns will be copied from source to sync. Okay, browse, select output container, then click OK. Okay, click OK. So now what happens? So if you look at here, right, if you look at here source side, I selected input container and a file which we have in the input container I have selected. Sync side, if you see, I just selected output container where that one file credit one.cs will be copied into the output location. Clear all of you?
Yes.
Maria, can you explain? I mean, we are going to explain that each property of how we are going to set there in the future, right? Like
Yes,
integration and time.
slowly. Okay, one by one, one by one.
Okay. Okay.
So source data set we created, sync data set we created. Now we need to create a pipeline. Go to integrate, click on this, create a pipeline. Okay. Within the pipeline, what we need, move and transform. If you remember, copy data activity, you need bring that. Okay. Now what is source? Source is source block. Okay. Sync is what? Sync block. Sync is sync block. Okay. So source is where we selected input container credit one.csv file. Sync is what? Sync is the output container. Okay. If you just click debug, go to sync storage once, go inside output container. See, you don't have anything. But if you come to the pipeline, Synapse pipeline, the pipeline is running. So it is done. Now click on this. See, one file is read from source and copied into the sync. Okay. So scenario number 1, which is completed. It is completed. So are we all clear on the scenario number 1?
Yes, Malaya.
Okay, let's move on to the scenario number 2, where we will see how to copy multiple files from blob1 input folder to blob2 output folder. Okay, multiple files. Okay, so multiple files means we need to go to input container. Let's upload multiple files. Upload, browse for files. So I'll be uploading cust1, cust2, cust3, cust6, cust8, departments, data quality, many files I'm uploading. Okay, so along with these things, let me also add some JSON files, other files also. Maybe I have some JSON files also I'm uploading. So CSV and JSON, let me show you one of the JSON file of it. JSON file means it will look like this. Okay, so other JSON files may be different. It will be something like this. Okay, so data will be different in the different JSON files. Okay, so JSON files can be created in two ways: multi-line and single line. So multi-line means I'll tell you, this is a single line. Single line means entire row data is there in a single line. This is called a single line JSON. This is called a multi-line JSON. We have only two types of JSON. Okay, multi-line JSON means if one user details are across the multiple lines. Okay, now doesn't matter you have CSV, JSON, Park and many other data sets also you can have. Now you see carefully. Now I am coming here. Okay, sorry. First, now what I need to do? I have many files. I have many files in this input container. All those things I need to copy into the output. So what I'll do? I'll clear the output container. If you refresh, you see credit1.csv file came from the previous pipeline run. Now I am going to delete this pipeline and I'll show you. I'll copy all the files that I have in this input container into the output container. Using the same pipeline, I'll do that. Getting, I am not going to make much changes in the pipeline. I'll use same pipeline with the minimal changes and I'll do it. Okay. So first thing is, where we are selecting what data we need to copy is in the data sets. If you look at the source data set, what file you have selected here? Only credit1.csv. But if you want to copy multiple things, don't select anything. Okay, because if you select particular file means only that file will be copied. Now, as you don't want to copy anything, don't select any file name. Come here and run it, it will throw error. So now you see what it is saying. Read it and tell me in the understandable language what it is saying. You need to tell me what it is saying. File path of
It's
the
looking for a file name.
is a folder
Wildcard we need to
file.
use.
Wildcard file.
So we need to enable wildcard path.
Where?
Malaya?
Where? Wildcard file path.
In the data set.
Not in data set. Now you need
In
to
the browse folder.
In the activity source.
Hold on, you don't know, right? Let me tell you. Okay, fine.
Okay.
So this is the source. You see wildcard file path here. You need to choose wildcard file path and wildcard file name is you need to put star. Star means what? Everything.
Yeah,
star.
all the files.
Okay. Just debug now. So pipeline is running. Just click on this. Pipeline is succeeded. Files read is 12. Files written is 12. So how many files are copied now?
12 files, Malaya.
12 files. Okay, let's see whether all 12 files came here or not. Refresh it. Count it JSON or 4, CSV or 6, 7. 7 plus 4 is how many? Oh, not 7, 8.
11.
6, 8. 8 CSV files, 4 JSON. Total 8 plus 4 is 12. So all the 12 files came. So scenario number 2 is completed or not? Are we all good? Only thing is remove
Yes, sir. We are good.
from data set, source data set and add wildcard option at pipeline. So same you need to do for the other things. How to copy only CSV files from blob input folder to blob output folder using Synapse. So for example, now before I copy in order to implement third scenario, let me clear the output container. Let me remove everything which we have in the output container. Okay, see, output is very clear and input is having the JSON and CSV, but I need only CSV. So you know already answer. Anybody can tell me how we can do that.
Star.csv can be.
Very good. That's all. File name can be anything, but extension should be only .csv. You need to tell. Star means file name can be anything. .csv means the extension, the ends with the .csv only copy into the sync. Now you debug. That's all very simple. Okay, so files read is 8, files written is 8. If you go and see, we have only CSV files. We have only CSV files. Now within the CSV basic cost, you have credit, you have data quality department. Now I'm removing again. So first let me mark the third scenario is completed. So you have done same thing, right? You have used wildcard file option at copy activity level. Yeah, star.csv. Okay, the fourth one. Before I move on to the fourth one, let me clear the again output container. Let me remove everything from the output container. Okay, so source side again, if you see, I have what I have JSON, CSV, all these things. But now what I need is, it can be any file format, doesn't matter, but the file names should be starting with only cust1 or cust2, doesn't matter, but file name is starting with cust means only those files I need to copy. In order to do that, so do you see any option at the here only? I'm telling you the option is here only.
Prefix you have to use.
You need to use the prefix. Very good. Prefix. Okay, what is that prefix? Cust star. I think you no need to use even star, just put cust is the prefix, so it will pick the files only which are starting with the cust. Let's see that. Click debug. So if you see here, the number of files which are copied is only 5. What are those 5 files? If you come here, refresh it, you see the names which are starting with cust only copied into the C. Okay, so the 4 scenarios which we have planned is completed just in 40 minutes. So I hope everybody understood. If anybody did not understand, please let me know now. Okay, so I'm sharing these scenarios and the answers for each scenario. You can see this. Clear, all of you? Clear, all of you? By mistake I stopped the recording. Not sure whether. Okay, fine. So recording is restarted, but I'm not sure whether it will be. Okay, fine. Any questions from these 4 scenarios? Any questions, team?
Malay, one question.
One by one.
Yeah.
Apaswami, go on.
So if we want to put some regular expression matching methods, where we can keep it? Like
No,
only we have prefix and while.
All regular expressions will not support here. Regular expressions not supported.
So if I want to match some files with my regex, it will not be supported by Synapse. That's correct.
ADF or Synapse, it will not support the regular expressions. Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Malaya, we copied the files from container, right? So by using a copy activity, we see the number of files, count of files, we match it. Is there a way to find out how many files been there in the container?
So You are trying to understand the total number of files in the source data.
Files in a container. Yeah.
Yeah, that you can able to do very easily. So there are other ways to do that. But as you asked, I'll show you quickly. But those things will come in the future. Okay. But as you asked, I'll quickly show you. We have a something called get metadata activity. If you use get metadata.
No, not with the activity. Not with the activity. No, just I know that has been covered in the feature. Just I want to see that in a container. Say for example, if we go to the sync container, here I see only less files now. In future, there may be hundreds of files coming every day. How do I know that how many files are there in my container? Directly, can I see here how many files are there in this container?
Yeah, but one thing you remember, you really no need to know how many files are there in the container, because at this moment I have not discussed, because we follow a proper folder structure. The folder structure will be something like this. So for example, so global, you are working for UK project or India project, India. So it's just a landing. Landing means where you are just ingesting data from on-premise to the cloud. Landing. You are talking about the customer data. Customer data means customer folder will be there, and you are loading data for today. Today means 06, 08 will be there. So tomorrow data will be there under 09. So let's say if you have an employee data which is coming today, EMP and 08 you will put. Okay, the folder structure will be there. You are not putting all the data at the same place. So to know the number of files in the
in 08 folder, last folder structure, how many files came? My pipeline ran.
That is what I'm trying to tell you. When we have a zero, okay, when the pipeline ran, how many files are loaded into the 08 folder you want to know?
Correct. From the container, not from the activities.
From the container, why you want to know? So from the container, that's what I'm trying to understand. You just listen. What I'm saying is, when you loaded 2023-06-08 in that folder, for example, employee data, when you loaded, we try to load entire data into the single file. Okay. Sometimes what happens is, when you have very huge data, when you are loading entire data into a single file, there will be a pipeline failures. There we will put some kind of a cutoff. Cutoff is 1 million records per file. So when you are, as it is going to be a daily load, you will not get more than 1 million. Even if you get more than 1 million records, for example, if you get a 20 million records also in a single day, 20 files will be created. So now you are trying to understand how many files are created, whether 20 or 40. It really don't need to know why. What is the use of knowing these 20 files? Because you don't know which file is having what data, because the entire data will be missed, and same employee data is divided across 20 files. So in which file what data you have, you did not know. Even if you go to that file and open and see, it is very difficult on the 1 million records. What you will do, you will read this entire folder for the June 8th folder. So from this folder, you read the data, you read data, and you just filter out whatever records you need. So you really not going to see file by file what data you have in the each file. Okay. So for your question, the answer is simple. You cannot know how many files are there in the folder. That is the answer for your question. But the additional to that, the comments are, this is not useful for you to know the number of files, because you can count it, but there is no requirement to count it. So what is your requirement? Can you tell me? Why you want to know those the number of files that are loaded into the folder?
Basically, I want to know that number of files and the size of the file, because I need to know source how many. Say for example, I have 5 tables.
How many?
Table
hold on.
5 tables.
Hold on. I understand. You said how many files and what is the size of the file. Till there I got it. What is the next thing you said?
For example, I have a source.
Okay.
From source, that has the 5 tables. I am moving the data, structured data from Oracle to on-premise Oracle to Azure Cloud.
Okay.
There are 5 files. The 5 files today I generated. Tomorrow I am going to be adding more files, 4 more tables. Each day, how many files I loaded? Okay, not going to the activity. Just they want to meet. They want me to.
You are not clear on the question. 1 second. See, I'll tell you. You are saying Oracle is having the 5 tables. So these 5 tables you loaded on a day 1. So 5 tables you loaded. Okay. So day 1 may be from each table you loaded data and it is loaded into 1 file or 2 files. Do you think it will be more than 2 files?
Yeah, 1 file. Let's assume that we have only 1 file for 1 table.
So what do you want here?
See, basically, the other team, they doesn't know about the pipeline activity. They have access to only containers, storage account. Okay, they want to see that how many files have been processed, means how many tables data is processed, what is the size of the data.
Okay,
that is manually we can
your
calculate.
Question is wrong. Earlier question is wrong. You are now telling the number of tables that are processed you want to know, right? Number of tables that are processed you want to know, because you are saying day 1 may be 5 tables, day 2 will be 10 tables, day 3 will be 15 tables. You want to know the number of tables that you have processed, and you also want to know the size of the data, total data that you are loaded from these 15 tables on the day 3, 10 tables from the day 2, 5 tables from the day 1. Is that correct? Is that what
Correct.
you are asking? Yeah, this is what you need to tell. So earlier question is totally different. Okay, because now you see.
I was asking that I want to know that from container, not by the activities. Okay, let it be. This is the question. My question is this one.
To understand from the container level, you will not know. Simple. The answer is simple. You will not know. There is no way to find out that way. Only thing is you need to write it in a code, or you need to do it through the pipelines. Okay. Team, next question.
Malay,
yes.
Yesterday you have compared the storage accounts, data sets, linked services. Can we see today those names?
Today?
Where it will store. Can we see today those names? Yesterday you have created storage accounts, data sets.
Basically, what I will do is, because those are the charges, right? That is not for free. What I will do, as soon as the lab is completed, I will delete it to save the cost. Okay. But if you have created and if you have not deleted, those will be there always, and those you can able to see here in the all resources. If you go, you can able to see all the resources. Okay. See, synapse I created, and to this synapse I attached this data like. So that is one storage we created, and the source and sink blobs we created. Next team, any other questions?
Yes,
if there are multiple files, is it possible to load the files in a desired sequence?
Desired sequence, file names you can do that if you know what files you wanted to do. Getting? So what files you wanted to do means, for example, if you have a 3 files, okay, cust1.csv, cust2.csv, cust3.csv. So now you have for the sequence cust1 you want to load, then cust2, then cust3. You can definitely do that. How you can able to do the sequence. So you will come to know these things when we learned how to ingest multiple folders of the data. Once you know that, you will come to know how to load multiple files also in sequence one by one.
Got it. Thanks.
No. So that is a very good question, because in real time we will have a dependency where we need to load one after the another. Okay, so that we will cover in future sessions. Next.
Malay, can we combine scenario 3 and 4?
Scenario 3 and 4. You want to start with the cust and the CSV. I think you can do that. How you can do that is in the wildcard, right? Yeah, very good question. Let me see that how we can able to do. So you can use wildcard file path and you can say cust star.cs, meaning it should be start with cust, middle it can be anything, again it should end with .cs. This way you can able to do. So in order to just to test this scenario, right? Let me do one thing. What I'll do, I'll just delete, not delete. 1 second, you have this, right? One more file, let me upload. Okay. What I will do, so this one, right? It's a JSON, but the name of this is, I'll just put it as a cust. So you see custard.json I'm putting, but the custard.json should not load, right? Only we, as per this condition, only custard.csv only should run, should load into the output content. Getting clear, Harish? You asked the question, you should be very clear on what I'm explaining. So let me delete all these things to make everything is very clear. Okay. So sync side I deleted everything. Source side we have the, so custard.json you have, first one.csv, all these things, but I want to load the files which are starting with first and ending with the .csv. For that I'm trying to use this wildcard. Let's see whether it will work or not. 99% it will work. So you can see copy data one, click on this. You can see there are only 5 files are loaded. Come to the output, refresh it. See, custard.json did not come. Getting? Again, let's say I'll delete this. I want to load only name starting with cust and ending with the .json. Extension should be .json. Okay, we put like this. Okay. Next question you can ask meantime. It will run to save the time. Next question, team.
Can we do anything with name in the middle, like name contains cust, something like that?
Yeah. So star, something like that, right? 1 second, I'll tell you. See, custard.json only loaded. See, in the wildcard file option, you can do whatever you want. So you want to say it can be anything at the front. Okay, it can be anything at the end. Okay, and the name, like it must have the cust in between, or in between, or starting or ending, doesn't matter, but cust should be there. You can just put star cust star. Now debug.
Okay.
Including CSV, JSON, both will come. Next. Somebody asking. Team, please close all the questions quickly. So JSON came and CSV came. Can we use two prefixes or context selection wildcard? Like, and no, you cannot do that. You cannot do two things at once. Okay, that is not supported. Next team. Any other questions, team? Any questions?
Malay, like it's not a question, like one request. Can you enable your mouse pointer, because we don't see your mouse pointer?
Is it?
Yeah, even I'm experiencing video lag.
Okay. Mouse pointer is not showing. You're not able to see still, right?
No, we can't see
Yeah,
that.
sir. Hello. Yeah, I'm able to see, sir.
One second, maybe. You're not seeing still.
I'm able to see now. Yeah, I'm seeing.
Everybody is able to see now?
I can see.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
please
yes,
let
able to
me
see.
see. Whenever you have issues, right? So you need to tell me immediately, because now see class is ended. You might have like not able to follow what I'm clicking and all. If you would have told little bit early, I would fix it, right? It will be like
I can see the selection, not the mouse cursor. I mean, say cursor on the screen.
still you are not able to see cursor.
Sir, I'm
I
seeing,
can see
sir.
the selections, not the cursor. That's true.
Mm,
I can see
everybody is
actually.
seeing issue?
I can see the cursor.
We are able to see.
Oh,
We are able to see.
Cursor.
okay.
Sir, yeah.
But a few people are not able to see, means I think issue from your end might be. You can check it, sir. Okay.
Okay. Sure, sure.
Is there any specific limitations for storage account?
No, blob is having some limitations. We will talk about those things. Okay.
Sir, can we need to copy now cast 3, 6, and 8? Can you show me how to these 3 files only?
Yeah, I did not get you. Can you come again?
Sir, now we need to copy cast 3, 6, and 8.
No, no, no. Like that, if you want to do, you need to pass one by one file only. You cannot.
Okay, okay.
You need to pass one by one
Okay,
file
sir.
so that it will copy that file. So how to copy that one by one file? You no need to like pass it manually. So you can do complete automation. Those things will come to know, because those are little bit advanced parameterization that we need to do. So
Yes,
tomorrow,
dynamically we need to.
yes, correct, correct. So those parameterizations we will discuss tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, we will
Okay, sir.
see like how we can able to do complete automation. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, Tim?
Do we have access to the recorded sessions?
Yes, I have shared yesterday, right? So I'll share. Okay, don't worry.
Thank you.
Malaya, please share the files also.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yes, Malay.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, can you share? Yeah, yeah, I'll share everything. Okay. Any other questions, Tim? Final call. Okay. If no questions, then thank you. Thank you. That's important.